They rip it all off at once. Shpunk. It's
Yep.
gone, right? Scream, pain, gone. Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs. Mystery Maniacs is a comedy recap podcast dedicated to mystery TV. Each week, we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. This week, Brokenwood Mysteries, Season 6, Episode 2, A Real Page Turner.
A real page turner.
A real page. There's somebody named Page Turner in the episode.
No, it's the fake page turner.
Oh, there must be some human being with the unfortunate name Page Turner.
Yeah, like Gerrymander a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, wow. That would be like, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Couple of exciting things coming up. Most importantly, new Brokenwood episodes will go live on the 28th of April.
Yes.
If you are a new listener, meaning that you were not a listener back when we covered the most recent episodes of Midsummer, you might not know that we do this thing called a mini episode when a new show airs or episodes of a new episodes of a show air. I got that out eventually.
Yep.
And these mini episodes are intended to be listened to before you watch.
And give you clues as to how to watch like a maniac.
Exactly. So they're spoiler-free, short, but will draw your attention to a few things that you might miss otherwise. Then you watch the episode, and then when we get to that new season in the normal order of events, we'll have a full episode about it.
So that means that in late April and early May, you'll be getting double episodes.
Yes, because you'll be getting a mini and the full. And if the new season is not available where you live, then you can listen to them when it becomes available.
You just don't listen to them. And then, like, when the new episodes of Midsummer are on in England, I always repost those episodes.
Yeah.
Those mini episodes.
Because they can be like 18 months old at that point, or
exactly.
older even. They delay them so much. So we'll start doing that in late April when those new episodes start dropping. That'll make it more fun to watch, the new episodes.
Yes. And then season 25, as we talked about, is already in production for...
Of Midsummer.
Midsummer. Yeah. We are 2 degrees separated from Neil Ray.
Mm-hmm. Explain.
3 degrees separated from Neil Ray. We had a listener named Amanda who was at a academic conference. We have a lot of academics that follow us. And she went to a presentation of a New Zealand scholar and then spoke to him afterwards and mentioned that she liked
Brokenwood.
New Zealand and Brokenwood. And he said, oh, I work out in the same gym as Neil Ray. So really, we're the same person now.
It's just a tiny, tiny world, you know?
It is indeed. So,
and we all get around, so...
what have we been watching? Ludwig. Wow, that show's good.
It's good. I like it a lot.
It's super good.
Should I tell my embarrassing story from this week?
Yeah. Yes, you should.
People can get a laugh out of my embarrassment.
I told my toothpaste story, so you should tell this story.
All right. So, and I'll do it short, but I think people will get a giggle out of it. So at work, and I work at a university at a business school. I think everybody knows that. I'm in charge of a lot of the technology at the school. And so we have a partnership with Microsoft, right? So they come to campus with this big fancy video team to create like a promo video about, ooh, it's a business school using our new AI product, right? And yes. They did interviews with, various faculty and students and stuff, but then they needed to do B-roll.
And this is high-end people. Like, they have a makeup person.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't know, B-roll is like silent footage that they might like play with a voiceover over it, or it's extra footage to fill gaps, basically. So I get roped into being in this shoot in my brand new dean's, meaning my boss's office, where we're supposed to, he and I and an associate dean are supposed to be looking at a laptop, pretending to talk about
And normally in those
What's on the
situations,
laptop?
you just say rhubarb,
Yeah.
or watermelon.
Yappity yap, whatever.
Yep.
Because I have a PC laptop and I had the software installed on my machine already, I brought my laptop and set it up on the table so that's the one that we could be referring to.
But that's not all you have on that laptop.
No, on the back of my laptop is a great big Mystery Maniac sticker. And the director of this shoot was like, "Oh, what's that sticker?" I said, "It's a podcast my husband and I have been doing for a long time." And he's like, "Oh, well, what is it?" And I was like, "It's mystery TV. It's just, a thing that we do." And he's like, "What's it called? Mystery what? Maniacs? Is that on Spotify?" He's got his phone out. And he's like, "Oh, I found it." Now,
This
mind
is
you,
in front of the dean.
yes. In the dean's office, in a shoot I wasn't even supposed to be part of, but I got roped into.
Pulls up our latest episode. Now, what was the name of that episode again?
Sexy hats and toothpaste farts, which he then reads in front of everybody. He's like, "Oh," because he's like gleeful and happy. He's like, "Oh, I found it. Look, what a cool logo you guys have. Let me see. Oh, the latest episode is called Sexy Hats and Toothpaste Farts." And he's like, it's like, it's an in-joke about the show that we were talking about. And he's like, yeah. And then he hits play. And here's my voice coming out of his phone. And everybody's just standing around like.
And then the dean turns to you
What
and
is
goes,
going on?
"Do you guys do Poirot?"
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
So
this is not good.
if the new dean is listening, welcome.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Sorry. They had to pile a bunch of innocuous books behind my laptop so that the sticker isn't in the shot. Like, oh boy, I'm not even supposed to be here. Like, I got totally roped into even being in that shot. And then they made me walk down a hallway and look like I was talking to people. I was so embarrassing.
Well,
Anyhow,
this episode.
sexy hats and toothpaste farts because I'm classy like that with my PhD. Oh boy.
This episode was originally aired on the 17th of November, 2019, which is so weird because we're only almost halfway through Brokenwood and we're just getting to
2019
to pandemic episodes, right? Back in November 2019, we were all like, "Oh, something's happening in China."
Not even that, late
Yeah.
2019. Maybe by Christmas we might have heard a little bit, but no.
Written by Fiona Samuel, who actually writes 2 episodes, this and one from the next season that we will have to talk about at the end of this episode.
This is a good story. I like it. It's different than kind of the goofier sort of, some of the goofy plots that they do that are fun, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's not that it's serious, but it's got a lot of townies in it. It's got, it's.
And it goes by the detective show trope of let's create a character so hateable that everybody has a motive to kill him.
Yeah. And that's what cozies do, right? We're not supposed to actually be sad he's dead.
No.
As viewers. And we're not, because he's hideous. And he only becomes more and more hideous as we see flashbacks of his interactions with people.
And they do a very good job in the writing of making people who appear dislikable at first likable.
Mm-hmm. But not him.
No. Like Maxine, you feel very sympathetic towards at the end.
Really?
Kinda.
Maybe.
Maybe.
A little. Well, no. Anyway.
I would pay money to see Jack reading his book with Jared and Sims in the car. Like, I want Jack in the back seat reading the book because they could not look more uncomfortable than they already do.
So Jack Rudd is the author, and you may have recognized this actor. His name is Matt Whelan. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
If you've watched A Remarkable Place to Die, he plays the sergeant or a DC or something. He's the sidekick to the main character, and he is so kind and so supportive and like the opposite of this character.
And like, kind of like, aw shucks a bit.
Very much so.
And that show, so Remarkable Place to Die is the first season's over. And I've heard a couple of people online talk about this. I think what has happened is they did 4 episodes, and like Brokenwood, they're not sure if they're going to get renewed or not at the end of this series. So they're going to put everything they can in that last episode to make it incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
And the last, I would say, 20 minutes of that show is like 200 times the speed of the rest of the show. And
hopefully it'll get renewed because I liked it.
I think it's really good. He's also in a show called The Gone that I'm not sure why we didn't watch it. It's Brokenwood with Irish cops and the lady from Game of Thrones, Mama Stark, who plays an Irish gangster living in New Zealand and missing tourists and like also
sounds right up our alley.
Like I don't know why we didn't watch that. All the episodes are available on Acorn, so we'll probably watch that sometime soon.
So the bookstore is called Slim Volumes.
Oh, the bookstore. Okay.
Why is it called Slim Volumes?
I don't
like I know that means a small book, but why would you call the bookstore that?
I would not call the bookstore.
I mean, I would call it like Fat Volumes
or Maxine's Books.
Maxi Books.
Maxine's Books.
I'm so rich I don't need to own a bookstore and run it, but I do anyway books.
So I have a problem with the bookstore. So when we see Jared and Sims come into the bookstore, there is a long walkway to the front door. Mm-hmm. It has the sign on it that is continually shown with the red sauce. What is that red sauce supposed to be?
I'm guessing marinara. I don't know, what do you dip sausage rolls in? I've never dipped them in anything.
I don't know, but
I know some people put mustard
an
on
egg
them.
wash on them.
Why, she's in trouble now.
They're a little pale.
Okay, first of all, you cover any dish that you take to an event.
Well, yeah.
And if you're taking something like that, as somebody who takes food to work every single week, you put those in a container, you put that sauce in a container with a lid, then you take the...
And you let Jared take it.
And you take the tray as well.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you put the sausage rolls on the tray at the location.
Yes, absolutely. You give it to Jared to carry, and if you're carrying that many books, you put them in a big book bag.
Yeah, you don't carry a stack.
No.
Are they broadcasting the book reading on the radio?
No, I think
she's
the
listening.
diegetic sound is that she's listening to the book at the same time he's reading.
But they're at the very same point in the book as well.
It's a miracle.
Why would you listen to the audiobook on your way to the book reading?
Why would you listen to the band on the way to the concert? Some people do.
I guess.
So anyway, back to this stupid bookstore. Okay, so there's the long walkway.
It's a house.
Now,
yeah.
There's shots later on the stairwell looking out the front door that has traffic going by. There's a sidewalk.
Are you
and
saying the
traffic.
Exterior and the interior are not the same location?
Are not the same location.
Okay.
And I also believe wholeheartedly the scene of the room with the book reading in it and the kitchen are a completely different set. I think that set is 3 different sets completely. And that would only annoy a maniac and the editor of the piece.
Especially those shots out the front door,
Oh,
knowing that it's so different
there
from the
is an
exterior
editor
shots.
who is like, they shouldn't have done that.
But gosh, as for production, to have to film 3 different locations just to get one location,
Yeah.
that's difficult. But it is a house. Like the bookstore is in a house.
Which in a small town, there's sometimes, like in Carlton Place, there's a bookstore that's in a house.
Yeah, and that's fine. But that's why it has a kitchen and a bathroom upstairs and downstairs and 2 rooms upstairs that we don't know what they are.
And there are a lot of people at this book reading. People that we know and new people. So Kristen and Jared are the last to arrive with Gina, who's got a bone to pick with the author. Okay, so that's 3. Mrs. M is there as well. Mm-hmm. The Rev Green is there as well.
Petra, the ex-wife.
Petra, the ex-wife.
Yeah, and Lindy and Drake, the teacher and the student.
So we're like, oh, those are new people.
Yep.
And Mr. Carnaby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, Jake is supposed to be a very high-selling author.
Yes.
Like, he's a big author.
Yes.
But if this is what his books sound like, if this is his writing, he shouldn't be.
Yes. I think they do a really good job at implying that maybe he's not the best writer of the world.
Like, maybe people don't buy his books because of the intricate plots.
Yes.
Maybe they're along the lines of like saying, "Ooh, I like books about like monsters, and so I read Twilight." Like, yeah, you're reading it for the monsters.
Yeah.
Sure. While he's talking about penetrating with a knife. And
It's certainly the erotic thriller genre. Now, I'm not going to challenge anybody who has actually written a book, though it's unsure if he's actually written a book. It takes an enormous amount of work to even write 80,000 words.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that we should say that he's not a writer. That's not it. It's that he is so obviously pandering to a certain kind of audience, and it's not one that likes intricate plots. It's one where he can say, "Sorry, I'm a little dry," and Petra says, "Well, speak for yourself."
Yeah.
Like, Lindy and Drake are there because she thinks he's her dad,
Yeah.
and everybody else is there because they've got a boner of some sort for Rudd.
Yeah. What did you think about that joke from Petra?
I was made uncomfortable by it.
I was also made uncomfortable by it. It's
Has she
not
already
that-
slept with him by that point
Yes,
or not?
she had already slept with him. It's not that I'm offended or it's not safe for work or anything like that. I just don't think it's a Brokenwood joke.
No, and it's not a book reading joke.
No.
It's not
certainly.
a in public book reading joke.
Well, soon enough, Petra finds him knifed at the top of the stairs.
Yeah. Is it a letter opener?
I don't know, but the subtitle of this entire episode should be "Don't Leave Knives Lying Around."
Especially on a tiny table at the top of the stairs.
That's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, leave your katana on the top step. I don't know. It just seems so dangerous, but you know he's going to get killed.
Yes.
As soon as he opens his mouth, you're like, the victim.
Yes.
Because A, we don't know him. We've never seen him before.
No.
And B, he's obviously an asshole. Like,
Yes.
right off the bat.
Clearly, a couple of things. There is a giant hole here, which is as soon as Mike arrives, Sims should go home.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Yeah.
And Hughes should be go home.
Yeah.
And Hughes should be there.
It would take him a little bit. But certainly Mike should not be questioning Petra or interviewing Petra.
None of that.
No, he should.
None of that. So we're going to take that for Rick.
We all agree that should not have happened.
So then they do such a good job of letting Gina's story out in little bits here.
I love it. She's like, "Can I go examine the body?" And Maxine's like, "The man's hardly cold." And she's like, "That's my point."
Yes. like this is a dream for a pathologist.
Half of the police are already there.
Yeah.
They're on the scene already.
And then we find out that maybe he's written his latest book where the main character gets stabbed in the back like him by a deranged pathologist. Number 2, Sims then looks at Gina and goes, "Go home."
Yeah. Why did Jared go?
I think
Did
Jared,
he just need a ride that direction in town?
I think Jared went because he is the kind of guy that says that Sims says, "I'm going to a book reading," and he goes, "Oh, I'll go with you."
But he's read the books and he doesn't like them.
He doesn't really like them all that much. Or he's part of book club already.
Maybe. Or maybe Jared is just small town guy who likes to be where things are going to happen.
Maybe.
And it's like, "Oh, this will be interesting."
Because there are those people.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And he knows town enough to know, like, I know what this guy's like. This will be fun to watch. Not even if, not knowing he's going to get killed. So Mike does interview Petra. And when he does, it's in the Nook.
Yes.
And there's this incredible lamp behind him. Did you see it?
It's a very nice lamp.
But I never got a shot of the whole thing. But it's like these blue hanging kind of globes that are like suspended in a spiral kind of. It's so pretty. And I kept trying to see the whole lamp and I never got to see.
And we find out that Petra is there having slept with him while her fiance is not there. And she wants to keep everything secret. Sims shows up out of nowhere in the nook and goes, go home.
Yeah.
Like,
you mean the cheesemaker?
The artisanal cheesemaker.
The man bun bearded cheesemaker.
Who we see again.
Yeah. But you look at him and you're like, you either make beer or cheese.
Yes, he is most definitely.
Or you lead a yoga retreat or something.
In Maxine's interview, we hear all sorts of details about how she brought him and paid for everything. She divorced well. Boy, did she divorce well.
More
She's
than
paying
once, I think.
$2,000 a night for that place.
By my math, she shelled out about $50,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because Rudd is a cheapskate manipulator.
Yep.
Like, he even wanted Gina to pay for him to come visit her.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're a best-selling author. You're already getting free labor out of her.
Yeah.
Pay for your own flight. She's like, I'm a Russian. I don't fall for scams. Like, yeah, you guys make scams. You don't fall for scams. The Reverend Green is there.
He's trying to get in the author's bag.
Well, he's trying to hide it.
It could contain a vital clue.
They kind of insinuate like Rudd has slept with everybody in the room.
Yeah, Breen says that.
Like,
did he have a go with everybody?
Like the Rev wasn't trying to sleep with him. He was trying to get help with his book.
Yes, which Petra can't put down.
So I'm confused about the history of. Okay, so. Remember, this is a spoiler podcast. We've already talked about who the killer is. It doesn't matter. Okay, so there's a bit here I'm confused about. All right. So K.L. Carnaby is a professor.
Yes.
Right? Of creative writing.
Somewhere close.
Hamish Drake and Jake Rudd. So Hamish is the high school teacher and Jake is the dead author. Were students of Carnaby.
Somewhere close.
And while they were in college, they met Tony, who's the cleaner.
Yes.
Now, Hamish left another school and came to teach at Brokenwood.
Yes.
So it's not like he's from Brokenwood.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. And yet, Tony, Hamish, and Carnaby all end up in the same town.
It is an
but
incredibly...
not the town where they met.
Yeah. It's an incredible coincidence that he comes to town.
Well,
but this is
him coming to town is something completely different. So Rudd goes away, becomes a big author, whatever. He gets brought back to town by Maxine. But the other three already live there, but it's not where they met.
No.
That I don't get.
And it's a little bit like Written in Blood, the Midsummer, where it's an incredible coincidence that happens to make what happens happen.
Yeah. Considering Maxine brought Rudd to town.
Yeah.
Because she, all by herself, was corresponding with him. It's not like the book club voted and said, we want to bring Rudd here. I'm sure she had some persuasion. And if it happened, like if Tony and Rudd got together in Brokenwood, like if Lindy was conceived in Brokenwood, everybody there would know that he's her dad, right? Like Mrs. M would know.
Yes.
And they don't.
No.
So it must have happened somewhere else.
It must happen at uni.
So it's just a coincidence that 3 people moved to the same small town afterwards?
It's a bit of a stretch.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't confused. Like, it didn't happen in Brokenwood.
No.
There's not a university around the corner that we've just never seen or heard of, right?
No.
Okay.
Maxine confronts Petra about sleeping with Rudd.
Okay, Maxine's totally toasted.
Okay, she's totally toasted, but she's right.
I know. But she calls her every name under the sun.
Which proves that Petra has just lied to Mike, and Sims should show up and go home.
Yeah.
Like,
my cheesemaker is here to pick me up.
Immediately.
Yet another reason.
Mike should be off the case.
But you know, it's a small town. Sometimes you got to make allowances.
Well,
Cops in a small town sometimes have to investigate people they know.
did he bring, okay, so he brought his bag with his laptop and condoms. Did
Yeah,
he think
just
he
in
was
case.
going to get some luck upstairs or something?
I think a man like him just, I mean, when he meets Petra, he doesn't even know her name and says, come on.
They're like bonk crazy.
So if he's that kind of person, yeah.
I guess so. He has a dead brother. He
might walk around with one in his hand just in case.
Condom hand.
I mean, never mind your
What's
wallet.
the
That's
next episode called? Hand condom.
hand condom and toothpaste farts. You know, you don't want to delay by having to look around in your bag.
So Rudd's parents are dead, and he has a brother that lives in Canada. Okay.
Of course he does.
Stop. Sim's first call should be to the brother in Canada and saying, you need to come here right now.
Yeah.
Your brother has been murdered.
Yes.
If my brother was killed, not even murdered, killed in another country, and they called me, I would go immediately.
Maybe his brother doesn't like him very much.
I don't care.
If Rudd was your brother,
Because you're in Canada doesn't mean that you're trapped there.
It's too far away.
It's not too far away.
It's way too far
there
away.
There are planes and things like that.
But this whole thing happens in like 3 days. His brother couldn't get there that fast.
Yes.
It would take him a week to get there.
So we go to the most gorgeous Airbnb to meet Tony Morris, and I'm like, no writer makes that much money.
Well, no, because he's not paying for it. Maxine's paying for it.
But that is...
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, really beautiful.
And Mike finds 2 glasses and red panties.
No, Sims does.
Sims does.
Yeah.
Yes. And we are convinced he is more awful by the moment. And I'm like, at this point in time, I'm like, didn't Tony do it? I was confused.
You thought the cleaner did it?
Yeah, I thought the cleaner did it. And then I was like, no, maybe the daughter did it and the cleaner's covering up. No, the Lecce teacher did it. So.
Maxine has put Rudd up in this Airbnb at $2,000 a night for 2 or more weeks.
Yes.
If she's doing it for 2 weeks, that's $30,000 right
Right
there.
there.
Never mind flight, all of his food, paying him to come. Like, how desperate is this incredibly wealthy woman?
Yes.
Who's not ugly?
No.
She seems very intelligent.
I'll tell you what.
She can do better.
Dennis would date her.
Dennis.
The lawyer.
Buchanan.
Dennis Buchanan would be all over her.
I don't know. Isn't Dennis married?
No, because remember,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He goes after the other woman who's got all the dead husbands. Yeah. Then Mike goes to see Gina.
Yes.
Gina doesn't want to look at his face anymore.
No, she is.
And she says we see he's stabbed in the upper back so hard. She says it severed his carotid artery.
And they do a good job of, like, it's this thing that people do who watch detective shows who go, oh, okay, well then this is and they come to the conclusion that they don't know how tall the person is.
Yeah, because it was on stairs, right?
So there's no way to tell.
So somebody on IMDb said it was a factual error, that there's no way your carotid artery could be severed from being stabbed in the back, especially with a knife that looks to be about 6 inches long. The blade is like 6 inches long.
Never mind if it nicked the carotid artery, I'm sure the pressure that is under that particular part of the body would shoot the knife out and blood all over.
So stupid me,
Yep.
I go Googling.
Yep.
Can you sever your carotid artery by being stabbed in the back? The answer is no, unless the knife is really long.
Yeah.
Really, really long. And basically shoved through the back of your neck.
Yeah, and it wasn't shoved through the back of his neck.
Don't search for it, okay?
No.
I did. I wish I hadn't. I especially wish I hadn't looked at the images tab. It's bad.
What do you mean? There's no blood when that happened.
It's very bad. Dissection is involved in many of the images.
So then Mike talks to Petra again. And all she does is lie to him and then says that she was sleeping with him, and she doesn't want her fiance to know.
Who she just met during the last episode, and now she's going to marry.
Who, like...
Because when you know, you know. Why wait? We're getting married at the end of this episode.
Sims is automatically teleported into the car and said, go home.
You know who I feel bad for? Willy.
Yeah.
Willy's got constant new stepdads all the time. He must be so confused.
Yes.
He's such a good boy, and he's so cute.
He's such a good boy. So we find out the old guy is suing...
Carnaby is suing Rudd for $1 million for stealing his plot, which he clearly did, basically says he did, and then deletes the recording on Carnaby's phone. Like, come on, Carnaby, you're smarter than that, right? You don't leave it sitting on the table.
Yes.
And you're just like, Rudd, you're so awful. You're even worse than we already knew you were.
We find out the panties weren't Petra's, they were Maxine's. Because really? Mike should have intimate details of Petra's underwear.
She likes thongs,
Go
as
home,
you should
Mike.
know.
Go home, Mike.
Yeah, if you know that,
yes,
that should be a rule. Detective should be recused from case if related to one of the suspects.
Yep.
Knows what kind of underwear one of the suspects wears.
So is the old guy staying there? Is Carnaby staying there?
That was the impression I got because he says it's not my house.
Yeah.
Let's go to the writer's shed.
I guess.
So maybe he's borrowing it for the summer or renting it, or I don't know.
So then we have the world's most uncomfortable scene, Reverend Green, Mrs. M, and the Gooseberry Fool.
The Reverend is just trying to get feedback from a big writer on his writing. And he wants to give him a home-cooked meal. It is
difficult when talking to him and approaching people like that. And it happens constantly. And I actually liked this scene. I thought it was very good. And I learned what a Gooseberry Fool was.
It's a trifle with gooseberries in it, right?
Yes. It's made with sweet custard and folding in pureed stewed fruit.
Yeah. It's like a trifle.
Yes.
It's like a layered parfait.
Yes. And they look good, too.
So Tony has stolen Rudd's shaver and his watch.
Yes.
The watch for the money and the shaver to get a DNA test done to prove that her daughter is his daughter.
But we don't know this already, and there's a break-in at the Airbnb.
And I have a problem with this.
Yes.
Because that's not how DNA tests work.
No.
A shaver is not going to give you what you need.
No, because you need the bottom part of the hair.
Unless Rudd shaves with an epilady.
Yes.
That yanks the hair out so you get the follicle. Or he's really bad with it and constantly gouging himself and bleeding all over it.
Yes.
But he has a beard, so it's not an epilady.
No.
If you epilady your beard, you would just cry for weeks.
It would be a toothbrush long before a shaver.
Yeah, I would think a toothbrush would be better.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt what an epilator feels like?
No.
It is the most hideously painful thing.
I can only imagine.
And I've carried triplets, and I can tell you, it hurts more.
It has to be Brazilian waxy.
No, it's worse than that because wax, they rip it off at once. Shubunk. It's gone, right? Scream, pain, gone. An epilady is like being waxed in an ongoing fashion.
Yes.
Like, have you ever snagged like one nose hair?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, imagine that over and over and over and over again, continuously. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But if he was using one on his face, then she would have what she needs for the DNA test. But she doesn't, so I don't know what she sends them.
The attempted break-in is Reverend Green, and we get to hear about
It's
Petra
so
and
mean.
him in the bathtub.
In the hot tub, mocking his book. It's so mean.
It's so incredibly mean.
Well, Mrs. M is okay with the homosexuals.
She is. We come back to the cop shop, and I
Oh, no, not the
Find
sign in
a
the...
new sign.
Is it a dry erase board again?
Yes, it is. And it says green tea, choco, biscuits, sugar, and soya milk. It is a grocery list.
The real signage that you need to be paying attention to in this episode is in Hamish Drake's classroom.
Wow. Okay.
Because I don't care that it's New Zealand, and a high school English classroom is a high school English classroom, and there's some stuff in that classroom that doesn't make any sense.
There is not make sense a little bit, and then there is not make sense a lot. First of all,
there's not make sense in that classroom, and then there's not make sense anywhere in existence.
Yes. So this is our first trip to Brokenwood High School, where they all wear uniforms, which is kind of weird. And BO hormones and socks, I can attest to.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a secondhand book sale. That is a legitimate sign to be in his classroom.
Okay.
There's a typewriter. That's legitimate in his classroom.
The adding machine next to it, not so much.
The adding machine next to it, no. And then there are signs that are really wrong. But the biggest one I have the problem with is how to write a great novel. And it's, first of all, it's an infographic.
Yeah. And it's 3 times in the classroom?
And he teaches 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
Those people should not be writing novels. They should be writing short stories. I was told not to write novels then, and I'm a little sensitive about it.
What I couldn't get away from is the thing that's immediately behind his desk.
Yes.
That is a hatch or a door with a handle painted red, and it says fire hose on one side.
Yes.
But then next to that, in big capital letters, it says aerobics.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. And I Googled it, and you can use a fire hose to do some exercise, I guess, if you want.
It's
like a
just
big rope.
such a weird classroom.
That doesn't make any sense to be in his classroom.
No.
If that's like some kind of emergency equipment for a fire, why does it say aerobics on it? Then there's a second dry erase board behind the big one that says home baking on it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that either.
The classroom is a B- in set dressing, I would say.
I'm just confused by it.
Yeah.
Part of me says, oh no, if I was from New Zealand, I would get all this.
Yes.
I would understand it.
I guess, maybe.
But if there's a fire, don't break out into like steps. It's not going to help.
Who is the fastest reader in Brokenwood?
Oh, Mike.
Because he reads all of Rudd's books in a night.
Which is a problem, not only because he reads them really fast, but because everybody else has already read all of them, but has completely forgotten everything in them until Mike reminds them.
Yes.
Like, Sims is a huge fan. Gina is a huge fan.
They should be bringing up points.
Either
Mike.
of them should be like,
Yep.
Gina, is the new book about you?
Like, immediately, before they go inside, before the pale sausage rolls are even spilt, when Sims sees Gina, she has to say, it's the start of the episode. There's going to be a murder. You're obviously the person in the new book. Go home.
If you had your way, there'd be nobody in this except Sims. No, she should walk up and go, Nina? And what has Gina made? Because everybody thinks it's super good, but she never says what it is.
I don't
but it's
know.
her mother's recipe.
But she loves it.
But everybody's read these books. Everybody's like a devotee.
Yeah.
And yet nobody goes, wait a minute. Is this plot in To Sir with Loathing
Cold cuts?
about you?
Cold. Is that about a
Deli?
butcher? So the books we know that he wrote are The One Night Stand,
Stab in the back, knife in the back.
Knife in the Back, To Sir with Loathing, and Cold Cuts.
Yeah. He's not good with titles.
He's not good with titles.
I looked up To Sir with Loathing because I just wanted to see if anybody had named a book To Sir with Loathing. And I couldn't find a book, but I did find one academic article called To Sir with Loathing, which is an analysis of school-age children's lyrics during the Middle Ages. and how they critiqued their tutors in their
Nice.
songs that they wrote.
Nice. Now, I do agree that Mike understands the psychology of this guy better and goes, he's been stealing from people in his books for his life. That makes sense because he knows the whole background story.
And it's not the first time that Mike has speed read a bunch of books.
No.
I think reading the books is smart.
Yes.
I just have a problem with the fact that everybody else in the episode is a big fan and will already have read all of the books and should have been bringing this stuff up. Do you get the impression that Petra cheated on him when they were married?
I think so because he dumped her.
Yeah.
Because he says that.
Well, he walked away.
Well, yeah.
And she seems kind of sensitive
She's
to
in
the
Dumptown.
cheating thing.
Yep.
Like, people change.
Okay. I know I've been hitting on this all episode, but when you
Who should walk away now?
when you have suspects, on the scene during a murder investigation, you do a little background. A simple Google on this teacher would reveal that,
Sims does it.
no, you would do that right away, like the night of.
Mm-hmm.
And he's there with a student. Instead of go home, Sims would be like, get in here, like immediately. Now, this teacher resigns over sexual misconduct.
Oh, you read
article.
the newspaper
I
article,
read
didn't
the
you?
entire newspaper article.
It's not nonsense. It's not gobbledygook.
It's not gobbledygook, but there is a mistake in it, and I think it's intentional.
Oh, yeah?
Because they talk about who he's in class with. Local author K.L. Carnaby. And 2 lines later, the next sentence, they call him Mr. Barnaby.
Whoa!
Like, that is not misspelled anywhere else in the article.
But it is just one letter, C for B.
It is, well, they're not near each other on the keyboard.
I checked.
And many times, Brokenwood is called New Zealand's Midsummer.
Yeah.
I think that is a tiny Easter egg left in for freakazoids like us, that is a reference to Barnaby. I wouldn't say so if it was like, there's like 4 references in the article and they're all Carnaby except for that one.
Yeah.
On the very end.
Good
and
catch.
It says Mr. Barnaby. I was like, oh.
If only they called him DCI Barnaby or
something like that. That's not Microsoft manual style,
No.
but it's pretty close to it.
Good catch.
I did indeed catch that one. And as soon as Sim saw that article, she should have been like, get him in here.
Somebody
Right
somewhere who was responsible for that is so happy that somebody saw their little joke.
Yes.
You've just done them a big favor.
Yep.
Poor Jared, he's leaving the book reading.
Yes.
He almost gets hit by a van, but more importantly, the girl that he sees walking on the sidewalk, who he has fallen instantly in love with, is almost run over by the van. And he says that she looks like she came straight out of Ipanema.
Yes.
And then just says in passing, turns out she's my cousin. Whatever.
Because
he's related to everybody.
He's related to everybody.
And I'm immediately like, tall and tan and young and lovely. Like, the girl from Ipanema is such an earworm. It's in there now.
They do a great job of, oh, Maxine's the killer. Oh, wait, no. Oh, Petra's the killer. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, Tony's the killer.
Oh,
No.
Tony's the killer.
Oh, Lindy confessed. It's her. No, it's not.
Yes.
I like Drake. I know that we're supposed to think that he's a pedophile and whatever, and he shouldn't have dated the 18-year-old.
Yes.
But the point of his life where we see him in this episode, he seems like a good person who I think if he didn't murder somebody, probably should have dated Tony.
Oh, okay.
He clearly cares for her and Lindy.
Up to the point of killing somebody, he's a good guy and should be treated as such. He lets his temper get a hold of him. And then he makes a jump off the roof that he didn't make to make. I'm not even going to talk about how if he sprained his ankle, it would be better. If he broke his ankle, it would be worse. Like,
he just sprained it.
Why isn't everyone going, why are you limping?
He's a runner. He twisted his ankle.
I guess. So he's good to Tony. He's good to the daughter. Mrs. M lives next door to them. He knows all about them. He says that she should get the DNA and for evidence and confront him. All of that I completely agree with, right? To the point that he kills somebody.
You like him until he kills somebody?
I love Keith's Mike's little recreation.
Where he's
he does
timing
the little pantomime where he's like blah 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 blah,
and then he jumps the other direction.
And
then he grabs the dish towel off the wall. Like, I don't know what I would do if I were Drake in this situation, because Rudd is so mean to Lindy. He doesn't even let her speak.
No.
He's so mean.
And that play,
I would want to punch him down the stairs.
I realize.
I don't think I would have stabbed him, but I might have pushed him.
That his play is, I'm going to completely ignore this. But he cannot ignore a DNA test.
No.
Okay? You simply can't.
No.
He is.
If he wasn't dead, she'd be suing him.
She could easily sue
for
him
child support.
For child support.
He's got plenty of money.
It all comes out that it's him. And I like how they do it with, like, these shows can have lots of interrogation room confessions. And I think they do a great job of Mike going over to his house and saying, look, what's up?
Yeah, I know you did it. Well, because Mike knows that if Drake killed him, he kind of knows why he probably did it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't because he wanted his money. It wasn't because he was jealous of his success.
And he does a great job of explaining why he was touching her face in the estuary, which that's a bad move.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing that with his history.
No.
They could have just gone on a walk and sat on a bench. They don't have to hide like that.
Yeah, they don't have to hide like that. They could do it at school.
They could be talking in the classroom.
They could easily be doing that talk in the classroom with the door open, or you just grab a colleague and say, Lindy needs to talk about this. Can you step in here with us?
Or Tony, Lindy wants to meet him.
Yeah.
Can the three of us talk?
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the estuary thing is a little much, I think, but also Maxine walking around town is a little improbable.
I don't believe she goes for walks.
No. But if she didn't leave the knife around, none of this would have happened. I think Maxine
I do. I think Drake would have shoved him down the stairs.
But he might not have died then.
No. He might have shoved him down and then did a big WWE dive onto him and punched him in the face.
Yes.
And I would have cheered that on.
So we have a situation at the end of this episode, usually at the end of episodes, that we talk about the corpse. The corpse is no problem, right? But we have a very interesting situation here at the end of the episode.
After the credits.
After the credits. Because first of all, the teacher gets the girl, goes to prison, has time to write. Because he and Tony are real close there at the end.
You think he's going to come out of prison with a novel to publish?
She says that she's going to come see him every week, and she's going to be able to do that because her and Lindy are rich.
Yeah.
Because she is his direct descendant. She can prove it. Mm-hmm. So all of his ill-gotten booty that he has, these millions of dollars plus the film rights, all that stuff, are legally hers.
Yeah. The worst case scenario is they have to split them 50-50 with the brother in Canada. That's the worst case scenario, which is bound to still be a lot of money.
Yeah. So the people who come out of this episode...
And Tony's not dumb. She's not going to be like, oh, I could never take money from such an awful person. She'd be like, no, give it to me.
And she's not going to prison because the person she stole the watch from is dead, and the brother's going to go, you can keep that.
He was a shit. Have his watch. I don't care.
So they're set up. The killer is set up. It's a very interesting...
He's going to do, 10 years or something? Mm-hmm. I mean, their sentences are so short.
Yeah, they are on easy street now. She's going to university, that's for sure.
Well, she's talented and smart. She should.
You know, when the brother shows up in his, his
flannel shirt
and his toque going, what's this all about?
A booch with his pet moose because he's Canadian. Is Carnaby going to get money? Are they gonna settle with him?
I think they probably have, like, Carnaby is going to approach them because I think that's a smart thing for Carnaby to do. Mm-hmm. And he might get something. The worst that can happen is they say no.
Yeah.
And he won't sue them because he knows what they went through.
Right. I think so too.
I think that they got off easy. Mm-hmm. I think that Maxine wasted a lot of money.
Yep. Probably feels like an idiot.
And
not because of her wardrobe, though she should.
Do we see her again?
But she probably feels like she's been made a fool of, but he's made a fool of everybody he's ever taken advantage of. So she shouldn't feel too bad about that, I don't think.
We don't see her again. But now we do need to talk about the cheese factory.
You mean the cheesemaker?
Well, the wedding is at the cheese factory. There are tours of the cheese factory.
Yeah.
So that is a giant cheese factory. Mr. Artisanal Cheesemaker is loaded, okay, if he's getting married there, okay? Then there's all the things that we could talk about him, like
the man bun, the big beard.
All that time. Third time's the charm. I thought that she took off. I was like, oh, is she going to take off here? But no, she doesn't. She goes up and...
She's not really a full commitment type person, though.
She isn't.
She sleeps with Rudd twice. She clearly would be happy to sleep with Mike.
Yeah.
And rekindle their relationship. And he's like, no, goodbye, no.
Absolutely on all of that while engaged.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we see her again. We see her again in the next season in an episode about a farmer's market where her and Man Bun are selling artisanal cheese.
Oh, so they work out for a little while.
How on earth does Sims not show up and go home? This is the second murder you are somehow involved in.
No, between her and the other lady whose husbands all die, they should just be suspects in everything that happens in Brokenwood because one or both of them are involved in everything.
Well, we have 2 more episodes of this season. The next episode we have is the one with the duck hunters and the duck blind. There's that episode. And then comes my favorite episode of this season, which is the women's prison episode that has all the women who have gone to prison in the stories previous at the prison, including our favorite, Trudy, who's
like running the prison.
Totally running the prison.
Don't cross Trudy. Yeah, she's a killer, but she's running the place. This is a fun episode. I like the story of it. I'm wondering if after all is said and done, Gina couldn't, write a little, I'm not like Nina. I just see all the people he manipulated coming out of the woodwork and having like a support group or something.
Yes. So then we find out
like Maxine and Gina could become best buddies because they both got ripped off by this jerk.
We didn't cover that part, but Gina is the evil person in the latest novel.
Yeah.
And like,
but he must leave a trail of people behind him that are just,
and they all went to this book reading in the 3-book house.
No, these are just the ones from this location.
Oh,
who knows where, who he's abused everywhere else.
The people in Australia and Canada.
Yeah.
He's abused.
Who knows? So that was a real page turner. We will be off next week because Mark will be traveling, but then we'll be back.
I'm going out west to see my daughter.
Yeehaw!
I've never been to Seattle.
You're going
before.
to Seattle. Yeah. You'll have fun.
Yep.
If you have any recommendations for things that Mark should do in Seattle, send them our way.
Absolutely.
He's going to be there for almost a week, right?
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days.
So
I'll be manning the fort all by myself. Things are bound to go awry.
No, they're not. Everything's going to go fine.
Last time you went out of town, before you even got to the place you were going,
yes,
the tire exploded on the car.
Yes.
It was awesome.
So we'll be back
in 2 weeks with Dead Men Don't Shoot Ducks.
There's no Daffy in it. I love Daffy Duck. There's no Daffy.
There should be an Elmer Fudd.
Hunting Season is one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
I thought I saw a duck.
I thought I saw a duck. Okay.
Anyway, bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs.
Maybe they're more along the lines of like, the werewolf and the vampire books, the Twilight.